first time car buyers, listen up. Or parents who are buying their kids cars, or those peeps, okay? I might have the car for you, or at least one of the options. Now, before I go on about it, whatever you had in mind about the Citroen C3, so the previous gen, throw it out the window. Forget about it. It's a different car now, guys. Completely different, actually. Not only is it not really like the quirky little hatchback, then I would like you to consider it more of like a budget crossover. Obs people are, crossover crazy. Hey, that's a cool title. Crossover crazy. It's also no longer sourced from France. It's now sourced from India, which I think will appease those who have this issue with French cars, right? So you can't say that now about the Citroen C3. You can't be like, oh, I don't want to buy a French car, because you kind of not, in a way. So this is the new generation. It is, well, I think a very cute looking car. I think it's fab. It's so interesting to me. I always tell you this. I love budget buys, right? I really do, because I think that they're just so fuss-free and easy, and I don't know. I just think that they're very underrated by the rich people. So basically what it does now is take on, like, you could say the entry-level Renault Kiger, Nissan Magnite, but then also like Suzuki Ignis, Suzuki Swift, Polo Vivo, Toyota Vitz. The list actually goes on. It's priced at like 230,000 Rand, just under. It's super well priced. And I think that's one of the biggest things going for it. Like, it's competitively priced, but you've got an array of cars, within the segment and in that price range. And although it's like a budget buy, I want to say it's got like the quirks sort of, but not really, okay? Like, you'll see the dash and everything. It feels very well built, quite solid, which is fantastic. When it comes, so the feel model, right, which is what this is, and the price I just mentioned, it's got quite a cool amount of features. It's got the touchscreen infotainment screen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, very cool. It's also got all-round electric windows. Oh my goodness. 3, I think, USB ports, so in the rear as well, very great. Amazing storage in the front here. I've spoken about this, funny enough, in the Mercedes-Benz GLC, mind you, that didn't have a place for me to put my phone, which irritated me. It was only going to go into the cup holders. This has a lovely spot here to put my phone. Love it. Clever. Thinking of people who are going to be driving this car, right? The youngsters. GLC, not different crowd, obviously, but still, the sentiment remains. The only thing that kind of is a bit of a bummer is that it's got manual mirrors, side mirrors. Fine this side. I don't want to be a snob or anything, but now I must lean over, push it, and then lean over, look at, or ask my passenger, be like, no, left, no, right, up, down, Oxman. So that's a bummer, but I mean, once you sorted, do you know what I mean? That's like a once-off thing. I think that's fine. What this does as well, which is interesting, and I've never had a car do it to me before. I was sitting in the car, I turned it on, and I was setting up my camera and everything. But I didn't have my seatbelt on yet, because I wasn't going anywhere yet. And after a couple of minutes, it started beeping at me to tell me to put my seatbelt on. I was like, well, I am just sitting here. But shoo, it's a strict little thing, this. But speaking of like on the safety side of things, so it's got dual airbags, ABS with EBD. Doesn't have electronic stability control, bit of a bummer. Most of its rivals don't, but Suzuki does. Okay, go Suzuki, it's why they're so bloody good. It really pisses me off that it doesn't. I wish it did have that. Sorry, my keys are making a noise. It also, and again, I get it. It doesn't have ISOFIX. I get it because, I haven't put Luca in here because I've had another car at the moment, but this isn't actually sort of geared towards families. It's not supposed to be in any case. I mean, it can be, but it's not. So I get it. You don't need to put that in. I think it would have been a nice have just in case, because I think, honestly, it's quite spacious, and I actually think this would be great if you maybe have a bigger family car, but this is your everyday car, and you've got a kid, fine, you could just get a seat that's not ISOFIX, but, well, you don't have to go buy another one, right? But just something to consider if you are perhaps a parent, and you think you're going to be putting them in an ISOFIX seat, you're not. So, but speaking of space, 315 litre boot, very cool. Quite big actually, and it's got a full-size spare in there as well, but it's like quite a deep boot. You'll get quite a bit of stuff in there. Certainly enough for like a cooler box of booze, you know, or some, if you're a youngster, probably not buying cases of wine, cases of like Brandewijn. Cane. Oh, I love cane. The cane train. Oh, green mumbas. If you know, you know. Okay, under the bonnet is a 1.2 litre naturally aspirated 3-cylinder engine. Only comes mated to this 5-speed manual transmission. It's a sprightly little bugger though. It's got 61 kilowatts of power and 115 newton meters of torque. Like, this is again why I love these budget buys. They're very light and stuff, and they're just so nippy. And this really gives it horns if you want to, you know, give it a go. The engine is, a little bit grumbly. What am I burping for? I've had water today. Oh my goodness. More like a hiccup. Oh dear. Yeah. I'll be back in a second. Let's do a deep breath there. Think of a white horse. We're good. Fuel consumption is claimed at 5.6 litres per 100 k's. I'm getting 6.5. Again, we know how I drive. So you can certainly get it lower than that, which is really fab. That's the point as well of having one of these, you know, budget buys. You want a budget fuel consumption, which this does have. Look, I think the only letdown maybe is the service plan. Being a French car, people just want a little bit more peace of mind. This is 2 years, 30,000 kilometers. Maybe it could have been longer just for that reason, if just for the reputation. But other than that, I don't know. Like, yeah, I find this to be like a really solid option in this category. I think it's priced really well, and I've really enjoyed driving it. Again, budget buy, love it. Do you know, I wanted to say this earlier and I forgot. It's so interesting to me. When I drive manuals these days, either in a budget buy or a Mursa 2.34 million rand car. I drove the Lotus Emira the other day. That was when I was driving a manual. I can't remember the last time. Okay, I was quickly on a Suzuki Franx launch and I was in a manual. But do you know what I mean? Budget or massively expensive? Not in between. I don't miss it though. I've become lazy. But so, yeah, good option for you. Old Citroen C3. Hey, now. Whoa, oh, fuck. No one heard that, did they? Ooh-ha. Lovely turning circle. Oh, hell, missing the pavement. Lovely. Except when you turn this, listen. That would piss me off a bit. Shh, no, I'm busy.